More than conquerors. Romans 8:37 says, "Yet in all these things we are more than conquerors through him who loved us." And in 2 Corinthians 2:14 Paul writes, "Now thanks be to God, who always leads us in triumph in Christ, and through us diffuses the fragrance of his knowledge in every place." When we read verses like these in the New Testament, it seems at first glance to be the reflection of the lives of supermen who lived in Bible times and far removed from the experience of us mere mortals. When we take a closer look at the life of the man who penned these words, it quickly becomes apparent, however, that this life of victory included, amongst other things, lots and lots of suffering. Paul was stoned, beaten, persecuted at times, homeless and hungry at other times, 1 Corinthians 4:11, imprisoned, shipwrecked. He faced perils of robbers, perils in the city, perils in the wilderness, perils at sea, and perils among false brethren, 2 Corinthians 11:26, etc., etc. Yet he said, "I am exceedingly joyful in all our tribulation," 2 Corinthians 7:4. Thus we see on the one hand that being a conqueror is not always as glamorous as it is sometimes made out to be, or in the form that we might anticipate, and on the other that the men that the Bible speaks of are ordinary people just like ourselves. In the verse in 2 Corinthians it says that God leads us in triumph in Christ. That means that the true conqueror is Christ, and as believers we all have equal access to the life of Christ, since he dwells in us. If anyone does not have the Spirit of Christ, he is not his, according to Romans 8:9. This matter of victory or being a conqueror, no, even more than a conqueror then, has everything to do with a life of faith and nothing with the kind of person involved, in a certain sense. The conquering life is already inside of you. If you will look away from your own experience for a moment and simply believe God's testimony of your life in Christ, you will begin to see manifested much more of this seemingly elusive victory that Paul speaks of. Galatians 2 verse 20 holds the secret to this life of triumph. "I have been crucified with Christ. It is no longer I who live, but Christ lives in me." Christ is the conqueror, and he invites you even today to share in his victory. Yes, even in the practical realities of your own life and existence.